Hello explorers, and today we're gonna talk about the air gradient. And I'm gonna do a little bit of an unpacking, and I've been using an air gradient for a couple of years now. I actually did an unpacking video, but I never put it on the channel. Not really sure why. I think the quality was a little bit off and so on, so I didn't want to do that. To do it justice, I wanted to do a real unpacking, and I have bought the set that you actually have to put together yourself. It's a little bit cheaper, but it's a little bit fun. It's just a little bit of a Lego piece to put together. And what's an air gradient? It's a little bit of a air quality measurement device. And I also flashed it, so it actually sends the data to one of my servers, so I can get Grafana graphs and so on. And it keeps tracks on metrics like humidity, the temperature, and also, of course, the amount of CO2 you have in the air. So if you have a high value, of course, you need to ventilate because that could be a health hazard for you. And it also looks at these kind of larger particles that could be a health risk as well. So it's a couple of different things it actually looks into. And I have been using it here in the office for a while. Sadly, that device was needed elsewhere. I needed one in my home as well. So I have now installed it in my home. So now I don't really know how the air quality is in my office. So this unit here will be for my office. So as we switch over here, we have this package. It came in a very simplistic paper bag. So they are thinking about the environment. So this is the Indoor Air Quality Monitor, Air Gradient 1. And I'm not sure if I actually used a 1 last time. So if we open it up like this, we have first off some kind of warranty card, and then we have a thank you card, a signed thank you card with some QR code and so on. Thank you for joining the community of Air Gradient. I've been a part of that for a while now. Over here we have a USB-C, USB-A to USB-C cable. And it's not that long, but it is 90 degrees. So you can actually put it into the air gradient and have the cable running against the wall. I would describe this as 2 meters. I'm not sure exactly, probably 7 foot or something like that. And I'm, or 6 foot, 6.6 or something like that. I'm 6'5" to 6'6", and I'm 197 centimeters, so somewhere there. But it is probably 2 meters, and inside I would like a 3 meters. So I actually bought another one from AliExpress. It should arrive soon here. Then it comes with a couple of components. So we have a little bag here with a component, and this says Air Sensor SB. So I'm not really sure what that is, but it's probably a sensor with multiple sensors in one. So that was in an anti-static bag, of course. So then we have a paper bag here with, what do we have here? We have tools. Nice. All the tools you need. So we have plastic clips, probably to mount it somewhere, and a little bit of a screwdriver. I will probably not use that. It was not a good fit. And then we have the actual device here, and we have a couple of screws. So it's 4 screws in this box here, and I don't want to lose them, so I'm not going to take them out. Very small ones. And in this paper, we have this little device, and it's actually taped. So you can, if we see on the back here, you will see where we put in the USB-C over there. We have mounting points, and then we can route the cables over here and also down like that. And then it's taped on the side here. So let's remove that. The screws were actually not that great. So you screw it in at the back here through some of these holes, and they are so small that I actually ended up destroying those screws. so I had to tape it back together last time. And then when we come in here, we see that we have this device pretty much already mounted here. There isn't that much that isn't put together. We already have that sensor mounted. We already have the screen mounted. So there isn't that much for me to do here actually. Is it just that I should plug in this sensor over here? Yeah, it's a couple of sensors. It's not one sensor, it's more than one. But the good thing with this kind of kit is that everything is labeled. So there isn't that much you can do wrong, which is kind of nice. So now the pins have gone through the bag here, so getting it out will be a little bit of a hassle, like that. Then I can put it into here, and one more there. So we have one little small sensor here. See if we put it up here. Focus. Can you focus? No, don't want to focus. See if we can read something on it. P4130 or something like that. They look very similar. We have one more of these very small ones. And then we have a large one here. And this one says S8 Air Sense Air Delsbo, Sweden. Sense Air. So I got this from Holland, and this CO2 sensor, that it's which is probably it, because we see here over here we have the CO2 sensor should be, and this sensor CO2 is sent from Sweden down to Holland and then back up here again. So that's interesting. So this is just pushed in. You can't do that wrong, pretty much. And then we have two sensors, one on the top and one on the bottom, and then they are different. So one up here should be SHT1, and then up here we should have one called. So I will actually do like this. I will look into where to put what. There is YouTube videos for this. So I just wanted to show you the actual the board and how it looks when it arrives in the package. And I don't really want to destroy this one because I need to use it. So I think I will leave it here. But now you know what comes in the bag, what you need to do to put it together pretty much. There is a bunch of tutorials for that and pretty much what it does. There is a bunch of different measuring sayings online, how different values should look and so on. Of course, humidity, if you have high humidity, you could get mold in your house. So that's not good. You should never have above 70% humidity in your house. And when it comes to H2O, if you get it over 1500, 2000 parts per million or something like that, you are starting to get drowsy. And if you get over 3000, it could actually be harmful and so on. So keeping track on those values is really important. But this was my unpacking video for today. I hope that you found this interesting. I hope that you learned something today. If you like this video, give it a like, share it with your friends and colleagues. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. If you have any comments or suggestions, leave those in the comment section down below. And I really want to see you in the next video.